Thibodeau for the Knicks. He signed his extension as a coach. That's just general good news. You like to see good coaches stick around where they're improving a team. Uh, Bronny James, I want to know what you think about that. You've been following the drama at all with him developing through the summer league. The Lakers have pulled him. I'm not sure if that's a wise decision long run. I'm going to give you some buy or sell takes here in a second, and we're just going to
Okay. Yeah.
wrap up the last again, just current events of what we're missing. We got Michael Gallup retired from the Raiders. No statement from him. All he did was repost tweets with people wishing him well and everything. So, 28 years old and looking like he's in a great situation in Oakland with Devontae Adams on the other side there. Uh, Pretty shocking news today. And then aside from that, I don't know if you have any words on the TNT and Amazon deal. That TNT they did match. They were ready to retain the rights. Amazon was chosen by the NBA execs. The only real good news that I've seen, or you know, just what's happening as a result of Amazon getting this 11-year deal with the NBA. At least for this year, right now, there's going to be at least 100 regular season games aired on NBC, and that's starting right at about the end of the NFL regular season. So that's what we've missed. That's what we got going on here. If you got anything to add, we got a little bit of buy or sell if we want to run through that again.
So to confirm, is inside the NBA going to be staying?
So yes and no. So Chuck has already announced like a month or two ago that this year will be his final year, regardless of
Okay.
the deal that happens. So it's going to be his last year. But I believe Shaq said uh, in one of the final postseason games that if Chuck goes, I'm going. So it's probably the last year. I'd say it's probably the last year, and it's probably quiet. I would assume that Amazon has their guys that they want to take over the show, and they're not going to give them the quick boot, but it's more of a do your own send off, and you get a year to do it. It's a short, long notice because, and also it's an 11-year deal, right? So it makes sense. One of those years is a kind of a kickback to everybody who's kind of on board with that. And then after that, there's probably going to be a lot of cuts and a lot of how Amazon wants to handle the production. That's what I'd assume.
Yeah. So, like you said, it's kind of like a corporate merger or like a restructure. Like, oh yeah, you're not getting fired. You're just getting, moved. You've moved departments, and then we're gonna slowly phase you out. So I don't know. I'm conflicted about any type of deal I see like that. It's becoming more and more expensive for sports fans to watch their team in every game. You're going to have to pick up a streaming service here, a cable package there, and that adds up over time for the average person. I really think that sports are so gigantic anyway. There's so much money being pumped into these teams, these leagues, these organizations. And I get it, right? TV deals are a big part of that. But it kind of smacks of greed. Like, do you really need to put those extra games a year on like Peacock or Amazon or something else just to have that extra, like, barrier of entry for the person who's just coming home from their shift and just wants to watch their team. That's my main takeaway from that.
I mean, and we talked about that a couple weeks ago on the Blackout episode. It's and it's they're covering the whole scope of it. The NBA's just next.
Yep. Yep. NBA is next. And then luckily I'm a huge hockey guy. Since hockey doesn't know how to market itself, we may not be as vulnerable because we're not as popular. 3D chess thinking up here. Yeah,
Ah,
the advanced thinking.
ah,
Yeah, I like that. So
hell yeah.
that's from everything you just listed there, that's my main thing. Michael Gallup walking away. I'm not going to speculate on like medical issues or anything, but anytime you see an off season, we do generally lose one or two guys in like their late 20s, and you're like, really? Fuck, he's kind of young. Like Luke Kuechly, he was one of them.
Oh
Every
man,
camp, yeah,
goat,
goat.
goat of Carolina, goat. Not even debatable.
Not at all. He would have been a Hall of Fame. He may even be a Hall of Fame
I know.
guy.
I believe he is. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
he is.
yeah. I think
He's
he
got, and
is.
if
Yeah.
he's not, it's just like a matter of time for the years on the ballots. But I mean, he's definitely his jersey's for sure retiring. Carolina, he's arguably one of the best of all time, at least in this generation. Dude's an absolute savage.
Especially, yeah, a lot of people don't know just how good he was because he was kind of in a smaller media market. They didn't have a ton of huge, runs. They did have 2015, if I remember correctly, but other than that, yeah,
There's a
he's
great 30 for 30, I believe, out on him.
there is? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I believe there's a full 30 for 30 on Luke, man. I definitely encourage you to check that out. Great stuff, man.
I just might. So of, all the stuff you listed, those are my main takeaways.
All right, so
You got me feeling lucky. I'm putting everything on black.